games and gamification for almost 4 years already, and I want to share some of my feelings and ideas and something that I have learned about using games and using gamification in the classroom. When do we address gamification? When do sometimes we feel that our students, they lack motivation. Yeah? Do your students like going to your English lessons? I know that you are just great English teachers and probably all your students like your lessons. But very often we can see these bored faces in the classroom, and when we give them grammar exercises or when we ask them to do their homework, they don't feel like, well, hey, that's a cute thing, I want to do this grammar exercise. But if you, when they come home and they play video games, they are so much engaged. And so many English teachers, they think about, okay, can I use video games? Can I bring them to my classroom? And how can it help to increase my students' motivation? But very often, I think we deal with this situation. Do you know about cargo cult? Somewhere on Fiji Islands, during the Second World War, there were military bases. And when planes were passing by, they just dropped food and goods to the locals. But when the war was over, military bases, so military, they left the islands, but the locals, they still wanted some food to come from the sky. And they started building artificial straw airplanes, praying to them and hoping that, okay, this will help them to get some goods and some food. And very often I think that when English teachers start using games or start using gamification in their classroom, it looks a little bit like this. So we take only the outer shape, the exterior, but we don't go into depth and we don't really understand what makes games real games and what really attracts our students in games. And when you just start doing online your everyday things, so it's not engaging. Well, actually, it's just because we don't have just to add some game elements and just to bring some technology to our classroom. So, first of all, we have to change the whole concept of the lesson and make the lesson a kind of a game.
Can you print in 3D the jumper?
I think so. Okay, when we started working with gamification 4 years ago in my language school, of course we started with introducing points, badges, leaderboards, and all these things which we associate with gamification. But this is just the lowest level of gamification. And when you add points, well, nobody plays because he wants to earn points. How many gamers are here in the room? Okay, when you play computer games, do you play them because you earn points? No, it's the gameplay which attracts you. It's the combination of game elements, so game mechanics are important. And so, this idea that gamification is just adding points, it is very shallow, and many people say, well, gamification is not a good thing. We've tried it, but it doesn't work. Okay, but maybe you haven't tried everything. For me, at the moment, this is the picture of using games and gamification in our classrooms. So we've got the whole world of games, but we don't know how to handle it. And we use old-fashioned methods. So why do people play games? I think we can address Daniel Pink and his book Drive. I hope you've heard of it and maybe you've read it. Okay, and we should go from extrinsic motivation to intrinsic motivation. So why do people play games? Because of these three concepts: autonomy, purpose, and mastery. Why our students don't like our lessons? Why don't they feel so motivated? Because the first thing, they don't see any purpose. Okay, you need your English to pass your exam, or you need your English to get a good job. It's nothing for a teenager. He can't think about these high concepts. That's why I try to add to all my lessons some kind of epic meaning. some purpose, higher purpose. Everyone wants to be a hero. Everyone is a hero inside. And you want to save people, you want to save the world. And so my lessons, they look like this. It's like a haunted house, and we save a poor boy who is trapped in the haunted house. Or we fight with an evil genius, Alex, who kidnaps people and takes them to virtual reality. Or we fight with artificial intelligence and cyborgs. Okay, teenagers, they want this epic meaning. They wanted something higher. Another very important attribute of games. So you play games because you can make meaningful choices. We've been talking so much about autonomy. And so if you present your lesson in a kind of a game and you let your students make choices and let them decide what they can do now. Okay, this is an example. For example, your students, they have to catch this evil genius Alex, and he is going to be at the fashion show. We can go to the fashion show and catch him, but we can't pass face control because we have to describe what we are wearing, and we don't know these words. Okay, and I tell them, okay, you can't pass face control. That means you have to go to the shops to buy some clothes, but you need a shopping list. They try to go to the shop, but they can't make a shopping list to buy these things. Okay, then they go to the fashion expert school. And they learn the words that they need, they make shopping lists, and then they go and catch Alex. And another very important thing about games, that is mastering. You can do one and the same thing again and again because you want to get better at it. Just imagine your students doing the same grammar exercises again and again because they want to master their skill. This is what I do at my lessons. Okay, I suggest them, well, for example, going to different rooms, and two people can go to one room and do one exercise, but only one will be the winner. Okay, they choose the person they want to go with, and they choose the task they want to do, and the number of asterisks, it shows how much points they can earn if they win in this room. And this helps me to make them do one and the same exercise again and again. Maybe for the first time they can do 2 correct sentences out of 10, but when they do this exercise for the 3rd time, the result is much higher. Okay, and if I'm lazy, I don't make any drawings or cyberx, I just use pieces of paper. So I think that games, well, when we want, gamification is not only about technology. Gamification is not only about earning points. Gamification, it is a new way of communication with new students. And actually, we don't need any new worlds. We don't need, anything different. A man needs man. So this is a quotation from Stanislav Lem from his book Solaris. So just think about it. More and more people tend, I've read somewhere, there was a research that modern students, probably they're not so much interested now in video games. More and more students start playing board games, card game, still gamification. It's not only about technology. Okay, sure, basically that's it. These are my contacts. Thank you.